gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
And those folks were the closing notes of the national anthem at the first varsity football game at Steve Ellison Field in 19 months. You will see a camera hopefully on us very soon. But a very good evening, folks. I'm Griffin Epstein.
And I'm Peter Canali.
And Peter, what a night of excitement to return here to Steve Ellison Field. It's been a long time.
Yeah, it sure is.
And we have a great game tonight as well. Petaluma and Terra Linda have played each of the last 3 years. This is the 4th straight year they are going to play. Every single game has come down to the last couple possessions in the 4th quarter. Last year might have been the thriller of all thrillers, a 55-48 comeback victory for the Petaluma Trojans against the Terra Linda Trojans. It was exceptional game. Probably the game of the year last year.
Right.
And the Trojans come in up and down season so far. Peter, how do you feel like the vibe is for Petaluma going into this one?
Well, I feel they're looking very strong today. Yes, very strong. We have a good turnout here. Good rally today.
Certainly, there's a great vibe about this, and it's been 19 months with the whole field being under repair, making it a turf field, but the purple end zones look beautiful. The stands are totally filled. It is a perfect night for football as well.
It sure is, Griffin.
Be providing the play-by-play. Peter will be providing analysis. Trojans come in 1-1 on the year. Terra Linda 1-0. They beat Oakland last week 30-0. Trojans fell to Santa Rosa. They were hanging around with a good Panther team, but a few plays went awry. They fell 42-26. They knocked off Montgomery 21-7. We'll get to see Garrett Freitas and the Trojan offense right away as Terra Linda will kick it off. We don't have a lot of numbers for Terra Linda, but we'll get the players that we can, including their star running back, Jackson Zabarak. The first varsity football kickoff from the new Steve Ellison Field. We're underway. It's a short kick, and Dominic Butts will be wrapped up at the 35-yard line, and that's great starting field position.
It really is, yes. It's going to be already going to be a great game, I can tell.
And for the Trojans here, they're going to hope that Cole Powers can rebound after a rough game for him last week. He only completed 2 passes last week, but he had a good game against Montgomery. Really game managed that. He's 8 for 19 overall in the year, 61 yards.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's an experienced senior as well. Terra Linda defense shut out Oakland last week, and he's going long on the first pass down the sideline, and he overthrew it. Well, that was ambitious there to start, Peter, taking a shot.
That was, yes. Good effort by Daxton Hoyga there.
And Hogya did not get to play in the Montgomery game out with mononucleus, so they've been happy to have him back in, and he made a 28-yard catch against Santa Rosa last week. Trojans have gone away from the triple a little bit of late, but their offense has found at times to be very effective, but especially with Garrett Freitas, you can have the big play. Only 2 split out wide, late toss here. There is the triple. Not a lot of room, though. Good GAN tackling by Terra Linda. Connor Pedersen took the toss, the speedy 5'7", 145-pound senior, but nowhere to go, and it's going to be 3rd and long. The scoreboard is in your left-hand corner, but the sun's glare right now is not going to make it look very good. In about an hour, you'll see those bright lights glowing as we go from sun to dark. 3rd down and call about 9, Peter?
Yeah, it looks like it. We can't really see.
Trojan offensive line really struggled against Montgomery last week in the first half. Yes, thank you. It's going to be a rough day with so many Trojans. They'll try a screen here. Freitas has blockers down the sideline, and he's out at the 45.
A big run here for Petaluma.
And you can see the excitement there when Garrett Freitas just gets the ball in his hand. The student section just goes nuts.
That is true.
241 yards on the ground for Freitas. Had 20 yards on 3 receptions coming in, but they got the screen there out in the open field, and he goes for 15 yards for the first down and into Terra Linda, 45-yard line, and the Trojan offense is moving on their first possession. Purple jerseys, purple end zones, new turf field, first time ever in Petaluma High's storied football history. Up the middle, Derek Pomey gets a couple, and he's the bruising back for the Trojans. You always need one of those.
Indeed.
Davis makes the tackle for Terra Linda. The Terra Linda Trojans, 30-0 over Oakland. Not a strong Oakland team, and they beat them up last year as well, but it is a defense that returns a fair amount of players. It's an offense that's younger for Terra Linda, including a new quarterback we'll talk about when they're on offense. Here's the toss to Freitas. He breaks a tackle, so shifty in the open field, diving for it, and he has a first down. He just makes something out of nothing.
That is true, Griffin. Freitas is a star.
There's no other way around it. The All-SCL running back of the year last year, and he had 83.6 total yards per game last year as a junior for the Trojans. Second only behind their quarterback, Justin Wolbert. So the Trojans move the chains once again, and right in front of us on top of Brazil's patio at the 42-yard line. Powers under center. Patterson in motion. Interesting draw play to Freitas. Diving out of bounds.
Did he make the first down, though?
Very close. His speed is just electric when he gets the ball.
That is true, yes.
He runs a 4.59 40-yard dash. That's 40 meters? Is it 40 yards or 40 meters?
Yeah.
Definitely 40 meters. It's pretty fast.
That is fast.
And you see the NFL pro running backs, just breaking 4, so he's a little more speed, not too far away from that. So it is indeed another first down, and the Trojans approaching the Terra Linda red zone. Give up the middle, and not a lot to go for Derek Pomey. 103 yards coming into today. That's his second carry. And his goal is really just to wear down that defense. Conditioning is so huge in football, isn't it?
Yes, it really is. It's a lot of discipline and conditioning here. Try to really get the best team possible.
Second and about 7. Powers fakes the handoff. Same play we saw earlier that went for 15 yards to Freitas. And he has given Terra Linda all sorts of problems. Squirted by for 5. And it makes it a third and manageable. That's huge. No, actually he got the first. Gosh. Now it's just the dose of Garrett Freitas. And Terra Linda knew he was the player to stop. But right now they don't seem like I can stop him.
We'll have to see how it turns out.
So, into the Petaluma red zone at the 15-yard line. Powers doing a good job game managing, not making too many mistakes. Another give to Freitas. He cuts back to the left, diving towards the end zone. He's down at the 1. No worries, Peter. This O-line, though, is paving paths for running back so far. And we mentioned they really struggled to start the year. The first half against Montgomery, they were getting blown up and blown up. And they really showed some improvement in the second half against Montgomery. And they were pretty decent last week. It's a very young offensive line. It's anchored by seniors Daniel DeCarli, Nick Zambita, but not a lot besides that in there. Oh, it's the fake! And into the end zone! Touchdown, Trojans!
Cole Powers.
What a beautiful fake. That even fooled me. Derek Pomey looked like he had the handoff, and he was swallowed up by Terra Linda defenders, but it was a brilliant fake by Powers. We saw him do that same play last week against Montgomery, and he walked right into the end zone. A quick 6-0 lead for the Trojans. I cannot even read the scoreboard. The glare is so bad. But it's probably about 4 minutes gone. Daxton Hogyo will head out for the extra point. Cole Powers also the holder, and that was not a good snap, but he brought it down, and Hogyo brings it through, and it is 7-0. That couldn't have been a better start on their home field for Petaluma.
Yes, really. Great start here. We're about 5 minutes and already 7 points, so strong start for Petaluma.
Scored on their opening drive against Santa Rosa last week. They really stalled in the red zone later on. And Terra Linda has an electric offense. If it is like we saw it last year, this is going to be score after score, and it's what defense can get some turnovers.
Petaluma's defense is looking a little bit better this year after last year, so we're hoping for a good performance by them.
Definitely the secondary has been spectacular for the Trojans, but it was a rushing defense that really, really struggled last week. They gave up 378 yards to Santa Rosa. JV Long and Campos for the Panthers, two of the best backs in Sonoma County, probably along with Freitas, and the Trojans could not stop them on a very young defensive line. Hagia will kick it away, and Terra Linda will not have to deal with going into the sun, but that did not seem to bother the Trojans. The sun should be behind the horizon in about 20 minutes, but it's causing a significant glare. Blackout in the student section tonight, and they are looking spirited, aren't they?
They really are. They're really stuck with the theme of black this game. You can definitely see it.
I'm supposed to call it all black. I'm sorry. It's the official term. It's a whiteout next week for homecoming. That is going to be even more filled stands. This is a squibber by Hagia. If you can't handle it, it can cause problems. Terra Linda does a good job, and they're going to get good field position at the 36. So for Terra Linda, their offense will be led by Johnny Tarantino. Tell us a little bit more about Tarantino, Peter.
Well, he only had one pass last year, but he is 1-4 versus... Wait.
He was 1 for 4 passing.
Oh, 1 for 4 passing.
Yeah.
Ah, I see. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. And then versus Oakland, yeah.
So not a lot of experience here. That's going to be hard for a quarterback.
No, definitely, but we'll see how he does.
He's going to rely on his depth of running backs, and they're going to try to beat up this D-line, and you see it right there. Found a hole and a good 5-yard pickup. That was Jackson Zabarick. We talked about him.
Yes, the star player for Terra Linda here.
He is the Freitas to Petaluma. Zabarick, 157 yards last week against Oakland, 2 touchdowns, and 975 yards last year as a junior, now a senior. And he's much more of a bruiser up the middle. It's going to really test the D-line. More holes and a first down for Terra Linda to the 45-yard line. Don't have a number on that, but they have a whole hoist of running backs that do return from last year. You'll see Randy DeLeon. You'll see Dylan Johnson. You'll see his brother Kobe Johnson, who had 79 yards last week. They lost their top wide receivers from last year, and we saw a lot of passing from them when we were down in Terra Linda, but it's just going to be a grinding, old-fashioned attack for the Terra Linda Trojans. This time there's no room up the middle for Zabarick. That's good defense by the Trojan D-line. Also, Daniel DeCarli and Nick Sembita lead that as seniors, but there's a lot of other youth there with Logan Waggers, Chris Oliveira, Kenny Alexander, among the like, trying to stop it. Alexander had a great game against Montgomery 2 weeks ago, including 2 tackles and a couple quarterback rushes. And he never played football before. It's a young defensive line, just like the O-line. Under center, it's Tarantino. Quick slant pass. That's well done to the tight end. And a first down. Well, he's equaled the amount of passes he completed last week and last year, and that's a good start for Tarantino. Tight end out of the slot there, and the Trojans were not ready for it, or the Petaluma Trojans were not ready for it. 1st and 10 at the 32, and now hopefully you can see the scoreboard. 7 minutes left to go here in the first quarter. How many viewers we got? 6 viewers. Appreciate everyone tuning in.
We really do.
To this game. The give to Tarantino. Great tackle at the line. Number 13 for the Trojans, Connor Pedersen, and he's had defensive captain for the Trojans. He's really played well this year and last year.
Yeah, he really has. He had 6 tackles this year so far.
5 last year only as a junior, even when he didn't get a lot of playing time. He flies to the ball.
Yeah.
Also a star wrestler, 3rd place at NCS last year at 145 pounds. The cornerback coming up to make the tackle there. 2nd and 8 for Terra Linda. Tarantino under center, to split out to the right, takes a look, gives it to Zabarick. Another good job by the Trojan defensive line. They have to wrap up. They have to make these tackles. They cannot let Zabarick get into the secondary as Derek Pomey makes the tackle. And this is a big third down here. 3rd and 4. Terra Linda moving the ball so far.
Petaluma offense have looked pretty strong so far. They've had some mess-ups, but it's been pretty good, actually.
Trojans have not, Petaluma Trojans, that is not good getting off the field so far this year. Only 10 of 23 on 3rd downs. .5:32 here live from Steve Ellison Field, Terra Linda Petaluma High School Varsity Football. And before that, we're going to have whistles and a timeout by Terra Linda and head coach Richard Cortuvo. Did we ever get the anchor cam? That's unfortunate. Well, at least at halftime you'll be able to see us. I can make that promise. Our first live stream, and it is really good to be back here live. Last year at Casa Grande, we were able to bring you the games, but not live. Oh, my God. Cameras are trying to turn off, and they're making horrible sounds. But anyways, good to be back live here. Not able to be live at Casa. Really, the live stream had so much to it, and we have so much laundry on the field, it's almost going to turn yellow. It's about 4 flags. That's a false start. And we could see it from up here, couldn't we?
Yeah, yes, we could.
That could be some nerves. Only one returning player on the offensive line for Terra Linda. Dylan Bottomley, their experienced center, but everyone else is new on that O-line. And they've done a good job so far paving paths for Zabrick and the other backs. Maybe some nerves there. Tarantino's going to have to throw it. He's looking downfield, wide open. He makes the catch at the 3. That was a breakdown by the Trojan defense. Again, don't have the number for Terra Linda, but it was Trojan safety and only a sophomore, Jack Hartman, who totally lost his man there. And the secondary's been so good. Hartman has played well so far for the Trojans as well. 5 tackles and an assist. Only underclassmen on this varsity football team. Coach Chris cannot like that defensive effort on a 3rd and long for a team that doesn't like to pass. Terra Linda will give it to Zabrick. Good wrapping up by the Trojans. That was excellent tackling.
Sure was. Like 5 guys jumped on him.
How you do it, and the Trojans really struggled to wrap up. Saw it in the scrimmage, saw it against Montgomery, and especially against Santa Rosa. They gave up a lot of big plays to the, trying to say potent? Am I saying it wrong again?
It's potent.
Potent Panthers. I said it wrong to Peter this morning, and I felt bad about it.
2nd down, 6 yards to go on the goal. See how they do.
Trojans, Petaluma, that would be, has done very well standing up at goal line, both last year and so far this year. Quarterback sneak. Oh, the Trojans are reading it. Well done.
Good play by Petaluma there.
Mariano Armamio was in there along with DeCarly for the tackle for loss. 3rd and goal from the 4. Is this 4-down territory for Terra Linda? Feels like it is the way both offenses have looked so far. A field goal's not going to be enough. Richard Campos, the Terra Linda coach, over 20 years of coaching, though. He's not short on experience and knowledge. Oh, it's the Wildcat snap up the middle, and I don't think he got there. No. Interesting play design. The Wildcat to Zabrick. But the Trojan defense again doing a great job not fold. He's right at the 1, and the field goal kicker does not look like he's interested in coming out. Armamio makes another great tackle, the senior defensive lineman for the Trojans. Huge 4th down here. 4th and 1. And again, Zabrick and the Wildcat. They're going to use his aggressiveness. He goes right. He's got a hole. He's in. Touchdown, Terra Linda. Now you can see it. We have the great angle here, and you can see the hole open up.
You could, yes.
That's a good battle by the Terra Linda offensive line, but you can't be too disappointed in how the defense for the Trojans, Petaluma, that is, stood up.
Yes, they're holding up pretty well against a strong Terra Linda offense.
So 7-6, extra point upcoming, 2:56 left to go here in the first. Extra point is booted through, and we have a tie ball game. 2:56 left to go here in the first quarter, and we promised that we were going to see some offensive fireworks tonight, and so far you are getting that. Oh, Cameron's turned in. Oh no, Graham's tuned in. We got a whole bunch of people tuning in on the live chat. Keep it going. We got J-Lag, Sam Jimenez, Frantic, and my good friend Graham Cannon, who should be at the game, unfortunately not. Oh, get the paper. But we appreciate the comments. Have any questions or anything else, and we'll try to get to those either for me or Peter. Peter's only a freshman, so he's got lots of special wisdom I don't.
Yes, I do.
2:56 left to go here on the first. If you're just tuning in, the Trojans marched down the field with ease. Garrett Freitas led it, and Cole Powers jaunted on into the end zone. Terra Linda started the drive well, a heavy dose of their star, Jackson Zaprick, but it looked like they were going to be stopped on a 3rd and 15 before they found a wide open man down at the 3. It wasn't a pretty pass by their quarterback Tarantino, but it was good enough, and they finally punched it in on 4th and goal. That's where we stand. Stands are nearly full. No band tonight. We'll see them next week. Do miss them. But they'll be at every home game the rest of the year. Kickoff to Freitas. He's the dangerous one. Freitas has got a hole. Cutting back. Oh my goodness, that speed. And he's finally run out of bounds. It takes a late bump by the kicker. Clapping in his face. That's what I would call an unsportsmanlike conduct. Freitas give the all-talk chat back to them. See the intensity. I'm not sure why they're yelling at him after had another neither electric kick return. What do you do if you're Terra Linda to try to stop that biggest star?
I wouldn't know, man. He's just too good.
Well, do you try to get the football in someone else's hands? Do you put 3 guys on him?
I'd say I would do whatever I could to stop him.
Yeah. Seems like that's the only way Terra Linda can slow down this Petaluma offense, because it opens up so many other windows if you have Freitas working at his best. It's the give to the senior Derek Comey, and he's got a seam down the right side. And very close to the first down. I think it's going to be a yard short. Comey, a senior and one of the captains on this team. One of the great leaders. Mentioned already a workhorse back. He has more carries than anyone else on Petaluma. Last year didn't have a big impact on the running back position, mainly because it was so deep last year. It's not as deep this year. You're going to see Pomey, you're going to see Freitas, and you're not going to see a whole lot of anyone else. Late toss to Freitas here. That was good defense. They were waiting for that.
They were.
And then the ball came out at the end. Terra Linda's saying it's their ball, but Freitas was down. The Terra Linda sideline exploded. Freitas clearly down, and he picked up maybe a yard, and he still got in about 1 more yard, so it's a 3rd down and 1. Freitas 655 yards last year on 70 carries. Led the team in rushing. He's dotting the I. Pomey is the fullback. 10 men in the box for Terra Linda. They give to Freitas outright. He has the first down. That's all you need there. Smart conservative play by head coach Rick Christ. He does not ride the riverboat too much. He's going to take what the defense gives him. And you saw that on the first drive, slow and methodical. So far doing it again. Coach Christ, now his 9th season at the helm, the head coaching position. He's 45 and 33 overall. He's been a huge boost to this program, hasn't he? Powers finds pass. Maybe even a better catch by
Nick Ayers.
Was that Ayers or Pomey? I think that was
Ayers,
Pomey with the catch.
Oh,
number
really?
44.
I saw 42.
Maybe we're both seeing things. I don't know.
Maybe it was 43.
Anyways, it was a nice juggling catch on the ground, 5 yards, and you're right there. Powers mobile and throwing.
Indeed, yes.
And something that we've seen of him both last year and this year. One of his greatest strengths that he can run on the move. He's so athletically and talented and very versatile. So 2nd and 6. We're under a minute here. Got the dime in form.
30 seconds left on the clock.
Greatest fake screen is another great catch going nowhere. And that's going to run out the 3rd quarter. But it was a nice catch made by Connor Pedersen again, who's getting some action. And no rush. It looks like to run. No, they're walking back to the sideline. So that is the end of the 1st quarter here from Steve Ellison Field. It's Petaluma 7, Terra Linda 7. And we promised that you would get to see us, and in just a minute, you're going to be able to. So far, a great 1st quarter of football, and we only expect more. Is it on us? There's Peter.
Hi.
Oh, I'm not in the picture. We didn't do this well.
Here.
We're
over
on
here.
a shortage of cameras tonight. All right, Henry, our director, is going to help us out so you can kind of both see us. But the sun is setting here. Gorgeous night for football, isn't it?
It really is, yes. It's beautiful, perfect temperature.
And you love to
Sun
see the
coming
full
down.
stands. You love to see the cheerleaders on both sides.
And the Trojans all in black there in the student section. Really supporting the team here.
A really terrific vibe. Once again, I'm Griffin Epstein.
And I'm Peter Canali.
And we've got the full range of class experience. I'm a senior. Peter's only a freshman. Have you been to a high school football game before, Peter?
No, this is my first one, actually, yes.
It's a special time, and it's got to be something I think all the students treasure. Let's head back on the field, Henry. So you can just press on there to head back on the field. Yeah. And then... get that back. And
All right.
it is a give out right, and the Trojans pick up about another 5. What? Oh, yeah. Probably couldn't hear me, but it was a give to the right. Trojans pick up another 5. Tackle by De Leon. He did not get there, Peter. 4th and 1.
Oh, no. This is looking bad for the Trojans. Let's see what they got.
And they're going to go for it. Powers can QB sneak as well. He likes to run. I haven't seen as much of that from him. Well, it's 10 men in the box for both squads. Powers quick give up the middle. This is to Prieto, and he's got the 1st down. Nice give. I'm sorry, actually it was to Dante Ratto, the 5'9", 170-pound junior running back who gets his first carry of his varsity football career. And a little bit of pressure there, but the Trojans move the chain and keep things going. No stress, even though it's a young team. They've shown some poise. Especially impressive against Montgomery. They were down 7-0. Things were not going well for them. They showed a lot of poise in that one. And even against Santa Rosa, they really hung around. This is a toss out wide, but it's not to Garrett Freitas this time. And it's Connor Pedersen who's quickly brought down, but Pedersen is really factoring into this offense so far. Second and 4 on the 6-yard pickup for Pedersen. See, it's went first for the Trojans, but it's really not much of a triple option because Powers really hasn't looked to run except at the goal line. He has just 23 rushing yards on 13 carries. He's mostly played under center. I played triple option for such a long time as Freitas goes up the middle and close to the 1st down. But Coach Chris felt with the personnel limiting running backs out there and the way that Powers runs, and Powers does not like to run between the tackles, likes to run outside of them, that it just made more sense to run a more typical under center offense. Did not get to the 1st down, so it's 3rd down and 2. Freitas will split out to the left. This time it is Prieto behind Powers. And he gives to Prieto, who's grinding his legs forward. one of the strongest players on the team, trying to get to the marker, and I believe he did indeed get it. Prieto, second carry of the season, and he's a two-time SCL champion wrestler and a varsity swimmer. One of the more athletic people you'll see, 5'9", 145. Been surprised, really, with his power that he hasn't been featured more, but they really chose Pomey as the feature power back. But once again, Prieto does the job, and this just has to be so taxing on the Terra Linda defense, doesn't it?
It really does. Freitas and Powers really just pushing through them here.
It's a long drive, too, that neither of these have had big plays, and they're just all the more taxing for the defense to be out there for 15, 20 minutes at a time. Powers fakes. It's Freitas in the end zone. Touchdown, Trojans.
Yeah, 13-7 game here. Top of the second. It's not baseball.
So the Trojans strike again, our first pass of the drive, but when you don't pass a lot and you do it occasionally, the whole team gets fooled. And Freitas wide open. The student section is hopping right now, and this offense is working to a T. 9:43 left in the second quarters. Haga comes on for another extra point. 2 for 2 so far on PATs for Haga. Also booted a field goal in last week. It's a low liner. It's ugly, but it works. 14-7 the score here, and it's a Petaluma offense that is rolling right now. They're working exactly how you want to, and once again, it puts the pressure on Terra Linda to respond. It's drive per drive. Trojans averaging 203 rushing yards per game so far this year, 248 in total, but they're going to very quickly surpass that the way so far they are playing tonight. Had 6 rushing touchdowns coming in. They've already added 2. Obviously, it's not very balanced, though. It's only 44 receiving yards per game, but it was nice to see the little pass to Freitas up the middle, which we also saw a similar one to against Montgomery. That was called back due to a penalty, but they're even having Freitas line up at the wide receiver position. He does it all. $9:43 left to go here in the second quarter. It's not the battery, it's the setting. If you can try to figure it out, but yeah, I don't know. Another additional part, it's not just the turf field at this new Ellison Field, as Hoggy has another little squibber, and the Terra Linda player looked like he was just going to stop running.
Anthony Moreno.
Can't do that, but he slides down at the 30. That's where Terra Linda will start their drive, but more than just the turf field, but we'll probably show a little bit to you later at the game, maybe at halftime, but you've got the whole snack shack out there. But I really just love that whole patio area with the steps. You can see it's really well populated.
Yes, it's very well done, very well executed. Looks very fine and refreshed.
Lots of purple, too. The bathrooms are even lovely, and they've got the kettle corn going, and it feels like such a long time since we've had all that stuff going and all this community around Petaluma football. And it's just so good to have it back at Steve Ellison Field. It just was really not the same at Casa Grande last year when this whole field was under construction. Student section chanting Petaluma. The defense going to need to step up. This is a screen pass from Tarantino. Shifting and juking. It was a nice move, but it wasn't very efficient, and he only picks up 2. Daniel DeCarli, the defensive lineman, makes the tackle, and Davis actually lost a yard, so it's going to be 2nd and 11. They are not allowing students onto the grass, but it really allows the stands just to be very packed, and I think really allows for that community. But also that patio area you can also hang out on. It's very nice as well. And they go up the middle, and there's nowhere to go again. Give to Zabrick, but that time the Trojan defensive line holding up. And it's 3rd and long. And that's the last thing that Terra Linda wants. You have to force Tarantino to throw the football. The Trojans have given up, though. Start today a 3rd and long, and they gave up a 3rd and long against Montgomery last week. Secondary has to be smart, and he was open and made a beautiful fingertip catch.
Good job there by Anthony Moreno.
I saw Moreno look like a deer in the headlights with the kickoff, but just a breakdown again. Defensively, the linebackers were out of position. He found an easy hole in the zone. Ayers tried to tip it, but he was too far back. The cornerback wasn't there, and Trojan's secondary has really struggled on 3rd and longs. And overall, the defense has struggled on 3rd and longs. It's something that head coach Rick Christ and his defense really needs to work on to be more effective. The give to the right to Zabrick, breaks the tackle. And then Hartman brought him down after a 5-yard pickup. He's a big boy to bring down, well over 200 pounds. Nearly 1,000 yards last year. For an electric Terra Linda offense last year, they had a lot of success. Obviously put 45 points up on Petaluma last year. 7-4 overall, including 4-1, but they did lose Matt Peters, who was a terrific senior quarterback from last year, and a trio of very good wide receivers that had 190 yards on the ground last year and about 170 through the air. Not going to see much through the air now with Tarantino, the young junior quarterback. Give up the middle, picks up about 2, brings up another 3rd down, and Terra Linda's copying Petaluma with a slow, methodical drive. Trojans would love to have, go ahead. Trojans would love to have their student section provide some noise, as they are doing here, and really add to that home field advantage, especially on a 3rd down. And a tired defense as well.
1 yard to go here for Terra Linda. See if the Trojan offense can hold him. Defense can hold him.
It's a quarterback sneak up the middle. He has a huge hole. Hartman brought him down, but a great job by Davis, who came in, not Tarantino. Went about 10 yards, and then there was a late tackle, so there is a flag that might be the call. Awaiting the signal from the ref for tonight's game. It looked like something a little late, though Davis did also give a 1st down signal once he was passed, once he had been tackled, which could also be considered unsportsmanlike conduct. It is unsportsmanlike conduct. It is on Terra Linda. That's killer.
Really is. 1 yard to go, too.
So
some great support from the student section here, really helping the Trojans persevere through this game.
Now they are cheering them on. The defense is going to need it. They will get the 1st down, but it's going to mean they're going to have to back up 15 yards, and that's a loss of a lot of progress and a mistake by Davis after a great surge up the middle by the backup quarterback. And Terra Linda's going to take a timeout to try to calm down their troops. I think Petaluma will gladly take the rest. It's the Trojan defense in purple need to do here to help slow down this Terra Linda attack. Just turn it off. You can try to get the other camera and see if that works. The other one that's sitting somewhere. And the camera back. We have 4 cameras. 6:23 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. We welcome you back to the new turf, Steve Ellison Field, the purple end zones. Pop in, and no matter the weather, this will always be good. Rain, sleet, or snow. Really helps out the soccer teams and the lacrosse teams as well. They don't have to go cross town. But football is certainly the heart and soul of everything.
Sure is here at Petaluma.
So it'll be a 1st and 10. They'll give them 10, but they just moved 15 yards back because of the unsportsmanlike. So they're back, Terra Linda, that is, in their own territory. And Tarantino back into the game. Senior quarterback already with 2 completions. He's looked good. Give to Zabrik up the middle, and that was a great job by the defense for the Trojans, pushing them back. The ball looked like it came out late, too. There were a couple signals from the Trojan defense that it came out. Harmamio was the one that came up with the ball at the end of the pile. He's provided a great force for the Trojan defense. It's pretty short, 5'5", but 150, and the effort and heart is what counts more. So the scoreboard is wrong. It's 2nd and about 10. Terra Linda, one of the best teams in Marin County. Petaluma, one of the best in Sonoma County, behind the normal powerhouses of Rancho. And Newman, what a interception! Oh,
what an interception!
Goodness!
Really good work by Nick Ayers there. Extraordinary catch.
Absolutely spectacular by the sophomore safety, Jack Hartman. Unbelievable. Like, it looked like he caught it. He was about perpendicular to the ground and then went upside down and held on.
Incredible, really is.
Read it like a book, too. Pass was telegraphed, but Tarantino had a receiver, and Hartman busted into the gap and took it away. That electrified this place in a huge play. We talked about turnovers maybe being the difference the way these offenses are playing. And the Trojans are going to take a shot, but they're not. Power's still getting away, but he just loses more. Well, it was a good idea by Coach Chris, often after the nice big play by the defense, to go take a shot, but instead it's going to cause a headache now for the offense as he went back a good 15 yards. And that's the last thing you want if you're a quarterback. You got to throw it away. So now 2nd and 22, a loss of 12 for Powers. Not a smart decision by the senior after the big play, and that brings puts that energy moot from that spectacular interception by Hartman. How about, though, the defense forcing turnovers? Had 15 interceptions last year. It's already their 3rd interception this year. They have 2 fumble recoveries as well. Has aided them in both the Santa Rosa and Montgomery games. Powers rolling. And
again,
he just throws it, and that should be intentional grounding. Now he got it. They're not going to rule anything, and he did get the football away, it looks like. But now it's 3rd and 22, and this has been very underwhelming for the Trojans after the interception. Kind of surprised they didn't try maybe a toss to Freitas there just to try to make it 3rd and more reasonable. Obviously not a team comfortable passing. Came in with a combined 2 catches by their wide receivers corps from last year. Powers is going to take it himself. He's got a lot of room, stumbling it down to the 30, but
that won't be enough for Petaluma.
Yeah, didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. And the Trojans are going to have to punt the football. Petaluma Trojans, that would be. So Hartman makes the interception. The difference is this clock now. And this very quick-moving game. It's about 3:30 and counting, and the Trojans will use all of it. Terra Linda will have 2 timeouts remaining to try to do something, but they've been slow and methodical on the ground. So this feels like a big drive coming up for Terra Linda if they can tie up the game and get the football. That would be huge.
That would. We'll see how the Petaluma defense holds up.
Ayers debuted away. Good end-over-end punt. And a nice tackle at the 42. Good special teams. That was Johnny Johnson, 6'1", 160-pound junior, who's very speedy, does some track, some long jump, and looked good there. So Terra Linda at the 44-yard line. You can hear the PA announcer from the newly named Ron Walters press box, and it's the Doug Johnson Track Complex. As this opened last year, they had a lovely ceremony to coronate and recognize some of the most influential Petaluma High personas and personalities here, and obviously Coach Johnson's still doing a great job coaching the track team. Terra Linda back to business on the offense very quickly after that interception. Tarantino fakes and decides to run, and he is hit hard. That was big number 50, Daniel DeCarli, who stood him up, and that's a message to send not to run more. If you're Tarantino, DeCarli's third tackle of the year, 6'3", 215. He's done a great job leading this Petaluma defense. It's so important, too, that you want to have that team leader. What does that help do for a team?
It really just helps, like, it builds foundations and a sense of community within a team, definitely. Oh, and someone fumbled the ball.
It's Petaluma ball. Terra Linda has fumbled the football. It's picked up.
Second turnover of the game, already down in the second quarter.
Yeah, that's very costly. Picked up by Dante Ratto. We talked about turnovers being a difference. Terra Linda's killing themselves here.
They really are.
So instead of them scoring and getting the ball back, Petaluma will now have the ball at their 45, and they have a chance to score and go up 14 points at the end of the second. Freitas out wide. No, there's not a lot of room there. And he's going to be tackled for a loss. Terra Linda's starting to read that a little bit better, it looks like.
Yeah, certainly handling him a lot better now.
And credit to this Petaluma defense, though, forcing turnovers. Already 2 tonight. And it's just going to make Terra Linda more tentative with the ball, knowing they have the pressure on them. Cheerleaders in the student section lead the cheers. The flags are up. Credit to Kaylee Smith as well, who's running camera for you tonight. Powers a screen while he needs to land on that ball, and he does. That was a backwards pass, and if Freitas, that ball will take it a different bounce away from Freitas. Terra Linda would have been dancing in the end zone, luckily able to fall on it for Petaluma. 3rd and long, but suddenly this Trojan offense is looking a little lethargic.
Certainly, yes. They're starting to read them a lot. Terra Linda's starting to read the Trojans a lot better now, so.
Yeah, so Petaluma will take a timeout. Not too big of a surprise the way they've really seemed to struggle offensively on these last couple snaps. They've tried to pass it a little bit more, but Powers' passes have been hit and miss. He still only has 9 completions on the year. And it's a Terra Linda secondary that so far has done an excellent job. They shut out Oakland last week, and they've still been really tested by this electric Petaluma offense, but there's been some issues for the Trojans on these last couple drives, and definitely has shifted the momentum that we're going to have some defense actually be played tonight. And I think that has to satisfy both teams. So a shootout, as we saw last year, can lead to a lot of fun. So 3rd and 13. And it's going to be passing here for Powers. Prieto behind him unless they just want to run the football and punt it. Nope. He's going to look downfield. Over the middle, intercepted. And he has lots of blockers down the right side. Good tackle by Freitas at the 45. A late flag.
But a flag is thrown.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be on Terra Linda, it looked like.
Did
not hold their cool. Second time we're going to have an unsportsmanlike on Terra Linda. That's just killer. You get a big interception like that. You're in Petaluma territory, chance to strike. And couldn't. And Powers, look, he forced that pass, didn't he?
He really did.
There was no open window. He was looking for Freitas. Terra Linda all over it. So now the Terra Linda Trojans will back up 15 yards and be back at about their own 40. Head coach for Terra Linda is out on the field, Richard Cortuvo. He is not happy at all with the referee, but must have been something said in that pile. You'd be surprised all the trash talking that goes on, especially among the lines. And most of the time keep it PC and the refs try to control, but it can definitely get out of control and fools can be lost. This is a physical, aggressive game that runs on adrenaline. And I heard a lot about the football players, about some of the things that are said in there, but it's all about keeping your cool, and we've seen Petaluma do that very well, especially when Montgomery last week really self-destructed. See if Tarantino tries to take a shot. He's in the gun. He's looking right. He
Long
has a man.
pass to
Complete, and a broken tackle, and down to the 35, and he even gets out of bounds.
long pass to what is his name?
Ratto makes the tackle.
Anthony Moreno.
And Moreno's doing a good job, the wide receiver.
Yeah, he really is. Had a little bit of a rough start there at the beginning, but is definitely taking a toll on Petaluma.
And Raiden Cristobal did such a spectacular job 2 weeks ago against Montgomery, but he is beat that time. And we again had a good angle. The secondary right now is being beat mainly by Moreno. Freitas on the opposite side is locked down his wide receiver prime. Now he had 2 interceptions against Montgomery. Tarantino feeling good passing, but he's got a room to run, and that's what he does. An excellent job right now by Jimmy Tarantino running this Terra Linda offense. Terra Linda will call a timeout, I believe, or second. Stopping the clock a minute 10, and they're at the 22-yard line. It's going to be a 2nd and 2. 7 yards on the QB run. This has been an interesting last couple minutes here with all these turnovers.
Sure has, Griffin.
And both teams have made some very poor decisions that have cost them. But these are 2 experienced teams, 2 teams that are going to win a lot this year. And it's going to factor in. Trojans will take on, Petaluma Trojans that is, will take on El Molino next week in homecoming. Will be an emotional homecoming, as it always is, and expecting a big turnout. But the Vine Valley will not be easy, and they really want to win this game for more reasons than just to put a W in the win column. But this is the only team that Petaluma will face all year long that is in Division III of NCS. Kind of bizarre scheduling, but Terra Linda currently ranked 13th in the division, and the Trojans 8th. And if you lose to Terra Linda will most certainly be ranked ahead. So for NCS seedings at the end of the year, the Trojans really want to make sure to win this football game because they are not going to test themselves against any other Division III teams. Wide open receiver down to the 10-yard line. He is going in there and throwing bullets. Terra Linda trying to spike the ball. Tarantino, though, he is on top of his game. They run the clock, and they will spike it. So that stops the clock with 57 seconds left. They don't show the timeouts. I thought Terra Linda had 1, but I could be correct. But you do want to save that in case someone's tackled in the open field, and now you can't. We're live on YouTube. No. We have a Terra Linda student who's saying hi, encouraging on the other Trojans. So 2nd and 11 from is a 1-yard loss on the spike. It is actually not goal. The first down's at about the 1-inch line. But this Trojan secondary is suddenly getting eaten up by the right arm of Jimmy Tarantino and a plethora of wide receivers that have come out of nowhere, especially Anthony Moreno. And he's looking towards Moreno. He's got Moreno. And he gets out of bounds. No, he didn't get out of bounds. The clock is running, and they've used their final timeout. This has been great game management, hasn't it?
Sure has, Griffin.
Richard Cortuvo will call timeout, and Terra Linda, what a momentum change. A chance to tie this football game up as they head to the locker room.
48 seconds left from the clock here at Ellison Field. Let's see what Terra Linda has up their sleeve.
It is 3rd down here. It's 3rd and about 2.5. So if he could get 2.5, it would stop the clock. If he doesn't, though, they have no timeouts and the clock would run, and they would probably just have to go for it on 4. So it is a little bit of a tricky situation here for Terra Linda, but they've really run this commonly into a T so far. Halftime show coming up next, and also a special performance from, I believe, both cheerleading squads. Which Trojans are the best in terms of the cheerleading we'll see that coming up. And the first performance actually on the field for the varsity cheer team. They've been in the stands on the first 2 road games, so that will be a lot of fun. So don't go anywhere. How many viewers we got right now? 9. We appreciate everyone
3 more
tuning in, and this game will be up the rest of the weekend. We will be taking it down on Monday, so make sure to check it out before then. Diamond form, and it's Zabarick in the Wildcat. He lost
And
the
he
football.
fumbles.
He has to land on it, and this clock is running. They have no timeouts. They could rush out their field goal unit, or they could just go for it, and Zabarick looks like he's going to stay in the Wildcat, but now he's got 5 yards. Clock down to 30. He goes to the right. He's not going to get there. Did he get the first, though? I don't think so. The clock has been stopped. They're going to have to spot the football. I do not think he got it. He did not. A huge change of momentum. Terra Linda stopped at their own 3, and the Trojans are going to go to the locker room with a lead. How about that, Peter?
Certainly an exciting first half here. Lots of interceptions and points here.
Now, that has to be very frustrating for Terra Linda. They look like they were going to tie this game up, and instead they will trail by 7. It was all offense to start, but it got slowed down. They're so backed up that they can't, well, they can take a knee. I wasn't sure if they could. They will take a knee. The clock will run. Terra Linda cannot stop it, and both Trojan teams will jog off to the locker room. We've reached the end of 1 half of play. The first game at Steve Ellison Field, first football game at Steve Ellison Field in 19 months, and so far it hasn't disappointed. It's the Petaluma Trojans 14, the Terra Linda Trojans 7. So can we get this camera? Turn the scoreboard off and get this camera on us. Turn the scoreboard off and get this camera on us, please. It works? It was working. Can you move it a little further? We'll probably can. Let's. All right. You want to? Is it? Are we on us now? All right. Halftime here. What's your name?
I'm Peter Canali.
And I'm Griffin Epstein. We will have the cheerleading performance for you in just a moment. Very interesting first half. What are your thoughts on it, Peter?
Very exciting, I would say. Yes, lots of interceptions by Petaluma and Terra Linda. Very exciting, yeah.
How did both teams kind of clean it up?
Yeah.
You're the coach here. You're in charge, Peter.
I don't
what
know,
would
man.
you tell the team? What would you tell Petaluma in the locker room?
I would tell them to keep on doing what they're doing. They're doing great. Freitas, too, especially.
Yeah, he
An
has
onslaught.
It feels like they maybe got a little bit exhilaration at the end. There are a couple poor decisions, maybe.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, Terra Linda's starting to read Freitas a lot better now, so it'll be interesting to see the second half.
A great point. And Freitas tore them apart in that first quarter, but we didn't see him as much in that second quarter.
We did not know, so that'll be interesting.
Felt like a big part of that. Terra Linda was able to get stops on first, and Bo's going to work right in front of the camera. We're at first and second down. Bo's going to do it again. Thank you, Bo. First and second downs, they were able to limit Petaluma. And, let's get the cheerleader performance, actually. All right, can you get the cheerleaders first? You just have to press a button. There you go. Oh, Kaylee's not running camera. Well, the cheerleaders are performing. Unfortunately, I don't think you can see them right now, but it's Terra Linda. So we'll try to get your Petaluma cheerleaders on in a moment. Is Kaylee still up there? Oh, can you call her and ask her to film the cheerleaders? Okay, wait, you tell me at the same time. Okay, so go to function. All right, well, we're waiting for the camera on there. Graham was asking if any of the cross-country team is there, and the answer is all of the cross-country team is here, except for you, Graham. You're missing out. So anyways, 13 minutes left to go. The Terra Linda, to give you a play-by-play, you have 3 people standing up on other hands. And now they're raising them up higher, and they're waving towards the crowd. This is why I'm not a play-by-play announcer for cheerleading. So we'll see Petaluma Trojans in just a moment as they come out. If Kaylee can run camera, but I don't think she's there, so we might not see it. Oh, our
And here
apologies
come
for this.
the Petaluma cheerleaders on the field.
Well, unfortunately, our camera person has disappeared. It is a very nice cheerleading performance, but you're not going to be able to see it. So we'll head back onto us in just a moment. But to continue thoughts on the first half, Peter, Terra Linda defense looking better on Petaluma. Power struggling with his pass. If Freitas isn't an option, though, how do they get their offense going again?
I don't know. Don't know much of the offense line, but Freitas definitely does seem to be the backbone, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Feels like they have to get him going, and there's just no other option for them. Terra Linda, on the other hand, they've looked very efficient. They've looked very efficient offensively, it feels like, with the exception of the turnovers. That's been the one concern. We've seen 3 turnovers, and they weren't able to score there. They weren't able to score there at the goal line, and that was a huge play. That felt the momentum there.
Definitely, yes.
And they manage it so well. They've looked, Terra Linda's looked calm, but they just have made a fumble, and then that spectacular interception by Hartman. That has to be the play of the game.
That was amazing.
You'll be seeing that one on Tuesday morning, I promise, on our YouTube channel. That was, or on our daily morning announcements. Only a sophomore, but nonetheless, the secondary for Petaluma, which has been so good. You talked about how good they've been. They do not look good right now.
Right now, no, but maybe they'll have a rejubilation in the second half.
Yeah, some adjustments or something. There are just holes in that defense, and a team that played so part of the defense that was really poor last year, really the weakness. And this year, for the first 2 games, really shut down both passing attacks, even against Santa Rosa. It was really the rushing, and the quarterback for Santa Rosa did not do much last game. But Tarantino, who's barely had any experience out there, is eating them up in this, especially in the second quarter.
Yeah, wow.
We are getting a very vocal rendition of Sweet Caroline. They've got the flashlights out. We want to use this camera real quickly and we're going to get the students for you. What? No, you didn't. It's right there. All right, we're going to, well, they're almost done, of course, as I get over there. But you can, we're also out of focus. But you can see there you go. There's the student section. Bleed in purple. Got the flashlights out. We've got the Trojan flag, famously planted on the Casa Grande football field last year after the Egg Bowl victory. You know, Costa's still smarting from that. We'll have the Egg Bowl here as well. But you can tell, very full stands, Peter. It's packed.
Yes, it really is.
And they're just waiting for the chorus to come back in again. We're not in Boston, but they are feeling good on this 3-day weekend, and it was a really fun day at school today, wasn't it?
Really, yeah, with the rallies and everything. Great.
How was the rally?
It was pretty good, I thought, yeah. They had fun games and good cheer, so.
Yeah, you participated in the cornhole tournament too, right?
I did, yes. That was a great introduction to the school, yeah.
Did you win?
I did not win, no.
Maybe next time.
Maybe.
Yeah, Link, you're doing a great job, though, leading that. It's a lot of fun. And the energy is up, and this is why, Graham, if you're still watching, why you should be here. I'm just saying. The band will be here for homecoming next week and the rest of the time, so they'll provide additional spirit as well. See lots of other community members. And we've also got, as we look through the fence, that's the patio area that we were talking about, Peter. It's really lovely.
It really is. Just amazing. Well made.
We've got the snack shack there. Hopefully someone can get us some food at some point so we don't starve. We've got a kettle corn up there. September's going now, which starts tomorrow. And just a great atmosphere tonight. We will be back in 2 minutes to preview the second half. Back after this. Stay right here. Oh, I'm on red.
Go down, get ready for a spirit tunnel. Now would be the time to do that. We would also like to thank the St. Joseph Medical Group for sponsoring this evening. Lifestyle Slim, and of course, many years of support.
Running out in just a moment. Hold on. So, unfortunately, the angle is not the best in the world, but they are going to make their way out through this line of students. Here they come. Let's listen in. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Charging out with the students, Terra Linda is going to make their way out, and their supporters as well. We'll see if their spirits are raised after that very disappointing stop. Expect to see improvements and changes on both sides, but me and Peter talked about it. I'm not really sure what you're going to see. Kaylee Smith on camera tonight. Jamie Cantieri and Bo Miller are producing and running tech. And what's Henry's last name?
Wilson.
Henry Wilson as well, doing it all. Peter alongside me, of course. That's the score. Petaluma 14, Terra Linda 7. Can we put it back on us, por favor? We on us? All right, if you're just tuning in, once again, I'm Griffin Epstein.
And I'm Peter Canale.
All right, second half here, Peter. Interesting first half.
Definitely, yeah.
What do you expect in the second?
Well, I expect big plays by Freitas. The Terra Linda Trojans have really been reading him well, though, so it'll be interesting to see how that turns out. And, of course, an action-packed game.
Any key that you feel like's out there? What? Oh, is it on? I'll help you in a minute. I'm apologizing. You're seeing all this stuff around me, and Peter. We'll get that off in a minute. But wait, what was I saying?
I have no idea.
The key to the game? I think that was it.
Perhaps,
any key that you feel like in the second half, and we apologize for the technical difficulties.
Definitely the defense here. Both offenses are looking extremely strong, so it'll be interesting to see how who has a better defense.
Absolutely. That feels very vital. We have a little over a minute left to go before the second half. With everything that's going on here tonight, your first varsity high school football game. Peter, what's
Yeah.
the highlights so far?
Definitely the interception there from, who was it again?
It was Jack Hartman, a sophomore.
Yes, definitely. That was definitely really fun to watch.
If you missed it, that was early second, probably?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was spectacular interception by Hartman, perpendicular catch, reading the pass, and then flipped as he held on. I don't know how he held on to that football.
Yeah, really magic there.
He is a special player, the sophomore. He's very likely going to be the starting quarterback for this team next year, so you'll be able to see plenty of Hartman. Let's head back onto the field. And we are just moments away from kickoff. Trojans looking to go to 2-1. Petaluma, that is Terra Linda, trying to stay undefeated on the year. Okay. Is Kaylee on? We got Kaylee on camera. All right. So, well, where's Henry? We have no one running camera currently, so that's going to be an issue. Oh, well, someone's moving the camera. Oh, we do. Well, someone's on camera. We do appreciate it. All right. So, Petaluma will kick it off, and Terra Linda will have a chance, Peter, to redeem themselves here.
Yes, we'll have to see what happens.
And you know they want to get the ball back in the offense after they were stalled at the 3-yard line on 4th down. Time running out. They had no timeouts. And they fell 2 yards short of the end, 2 yards short of a first down.
Truly crippling them for them.
Hogg has had some interesting kicks here. He's kind of booted it short. Hope for Terra Linda mistakes. Haven't seen anything, but it's given the blue and white Trojans good field position. Petaluma and the purple and white. Terra Linda and the white and blue. Second half underway. That's a much better kick from Hoggia. Bobbled. And he's got some room down the sideline. Nice run out at the 32. Shoved out by the Trojans. Garrett Gehring, senior tight end, on the tackle. Stands nearly completely full on the Petaluma side, as is the quad area as well. And Terra Linda is going to be facing a hostile environment in the second half at the 32. Does the secondary, are they going to be able to pick it up?
We hope so, yeah. Wait, do we hope so?
Well, if you're a Petaluma fan, you hope so.
Well, I am a Petaluma fan, so yes.
If you're tuning in from Terra Linda, you're going to hope that Jimmy Tarantino can continue his right arm magic out of nowhere. He's completed 5 passes in this game after 2 in his career coming in. Under the bright lights, that's pass completion
Pass
number 6.
26, yeah.
And was that Moreno again?
That was not. No, that was number 26 there.
Don't have his number.
We do not.
But Anthony Moreno, the 5'7", 175-pound, listed as a running back, but he's functioned a wide receiver. I think has about half the catches for Terra Linda, and I actually will give you, I should have the halftime stats, hopefully. Mr. Jackson, our statistician, has hopefully concocted them up. 2nd and 9. We do have the halftime stats for you. Hopefully. Late toss out wide. Great job by Nick Ayers to get the first hand on. He wasn't able to bring him down, but gang tackling there and limited running room on the toss. And now it's 3rd and long, and you like that if you're a Petaluma defense.
Yeah, we do.
So, in total, Petaluma 19 rushes for 62 yards. Terra Linda 20 rushes for 66 yards. Petaluma 12 first downs compared to Terra Linda 10. You can see offensive statistics pretty even. Terra Linda actually with more yards, though, 164, compared to Petaluma's 110 yards. We'll go through a little bit more of that as this half goes on, but of course the stats will change. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 5, excuse me. Tarantino in the gun. He bobbled it. It's on the ground. He picks it up. And he is going to be pulled down by a parade of purple jerseys. First sack of the game, but it was mainly because Tarantino could not hold on to the football, and they're going to have to punt it away. That's killer.
Strong start for the Trojans here. Petaluma Trojans.
Have to be happy with that by the defense that was gashed for about 6 yards per play, but they did force 2 turnovers in that first half. But we talked about the third downs. They're finally able to get off the field there. Terra Linda was 4 for 7 on third down conversions and 1 for 2 on fourth down in that first half. And Davis 6 for 8 for 98 yards. Moreno 3 catches for 46 as the Terra Linda punting crew out for the first time today. End over end, almost Aussie style down the sideline. It's going to trickle out of bounds. Good field position to start the second half at about the 40. Powers was 5 for 7 for 48. He managed the game well, but he did throw a costly interception. Talked about Freitas, though. What a first half he had.
Definitely.
3 catches, 43 yards, 8 rushes on the ground for 37. Pomey chipped in 14 yards. DeCarly led the team in tackles with 3, while Guy Lyons led Terra Linda with 5 tackles. Appreciate Kevin Jackson's statistics as always. And the Trojans, Petaluma, that is, give up the middle to Pomey. So the lights are in full effect, and dusk is long settled on this final day of August. Labor Day weekend coming up this weekend, 2nd and 5. Any Labor Day plans, Peter?
Not really, no, just sleeping in on Monday.
That's a good plan for a Labor Day weekend. After 2.5 weeks of school, and you know the football team is going to be sleeping in tomorrow, win or loss, after what has been an exhausting physical game. I saw it again. Very similar to that first half with that toss to Freitas.
Definitely, yeah.
Terra Linda read it perfectly, and nowhere to go, and it's a 3rd and long, exactly what Petaluma doesn't want. Powers might be forced to throw. The student section chanting that they believe they will win. But right now, the way the Petaluma offense is moving, you have to have your doubts. 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. Powers had some contraption. I think his hand cooler that he threw behind him. And the give is up the middle to Prieto, and he got the first down. That's why you want to have Colton Prieto more in the game, and Coach Chris hasn't involved him a lot, but you saw the power there.
Definitely, yeah.
Good run by Prieto. And that's a huge first down picked up for the Trojans to move the sticks. Still on their own side of the field, but at the 48, and threatening once again. Both touchdowns in that first half. Terra Linda slowed down the attack in the second. Freitas the only back, and first we have whistles.
And flags are thrown.
It has been pretty clean, actually, though. We haven't had too many flags.
Oh, yeah.
If you were at the Montgomery game 2 weeks ago, and we have that game on our YouTube channel, that was a epic flag fest. There was, I mean, if it was literally laundry that was going to have to be thrown on the field, you would have had to do 5 wash loads at least. There was, I think, 15 penalties on Montgomery in that one. And the Trojans had a couple as well, but they're pretty disciplined. Overall, only 16 penalties in their first 2 games coming into this one.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, and it is on Terra Linda, encroachment, so 1st and 5. Same formation. Get to Freitas, he picks up speed. That's always dangerous. Good job by Terra Linda to bring him down.
The first down.
Before he could get into that second level, linebackers bringing him down. It's so hard if you're a safety to bring down Freitas. He's just so shifty.
Super fast.
So first down at the 41. Trojans coming off a 42-26 loss to Santa Rosa last week. High offensive scoring, but kind of at a similar position. They got into the red zone at the end of the half and didn't score like we saw Terra Linda do. Santa Rosa scored on their first possession and then a fumble, and things started to fall apart from there. Prieto lost the football at the end, but they'd blown the whistle dead. And Terra Linda's going to be very upset. But the reason they blew the whistle dead there is Prieto did not. There was no progress left, and they'd already blown the whistle. He was not moving forward. They basically stood him up. But the senior Colton Prieto, one of the nicest guys you'll meet too, with a 6-yard gain, and he's so far looked very effective, bursting through the tackles, and good job by DeCarly and Sambita helping pave a way for him as well. But Logan Waggers, Matt Salyers, both juniors, along with Mario Harmamio, was on JV last year, having to help out. Toss out wide, not a lot going, and it's going to be a 3rd and inches. Hudson with the tackle. That was a fake by Powers, hard to see from our angle. Terra Linda struggled, though, for them to get off the field. Trojans did a good job on 3rd down in that first half. Trojans were 3 for 6 on 3rd down conversions, and they're going to be 4 for 7. Prieto again. If you're going to eat, I want to appreciate the delicious hot dogs that have come our way for a little bit of nourishment as we delve into this 3rd quarter. Colton Prieto coming in and providing a spark here. He remains in the backfield, and you need someone to step up, become a breakout player. And so far offensively, the Trojans haven't found it, but Prieto is breaking tackles again, surging down to the 17-yard line. How about this running back? Came in with 1 carry, and it was in garbage time against Santa Rosa last week. But Coach Christus found something in the 5'9", 145-pound senior. Great leader as well, someone that's very, very positive out there. And even though he probably thought coming in on varsity last year that he would get a lot of playing time, and he had 58 yards last year on 9 carries, as we have flags all over the place, a false start. Prieto probably came in thinking he was going to be that feature power back, but Pomey kind of took it for him, and his persistence and patience is paying off in this one. And I think for Pomey, if he can focus on the defense, where he excels at the linebacker position, and Coach Chris can rely on other running backs, that's what he would want. So 2nd and 6, the false start backs them up by 5. 2 split out to the right, 1 to the left. Powers will pass it, hit his own lineman. His arm was hit as he was throwing, and it really never got anywhere. So that brings up a 3rd down. They're in field goal territory, and Daxton Aggia hit a 45-yard field goal against Santa Rosa. It was a lengthy one, and he'd have to do a similar distance from the 21 if the Trojans stall here, but that would be a huge field goal to give them a 2-possession lead. Trojans trying to continue their success on 3rd down, over a 50% conversion rate. Diamond form, 2 fakes. He's under pressure, so he gives it off to Freitas, but Freitas is tiptoeing down the sideline, spinning, and he stepped out of bounds. Beautiful touch pass, wasn't it?
Definitely. Freitas getting back in the game here.
And Powers could have panicked there. He had 2 Terra Linda defenders bearing down on him, and he just put the right amount of touch over the charging defenders. And Freitas with his speed, dangerous. And we might, though, however, have a penalty. We do. So after all that excitement, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be on Petaluma, and they will back up. And not only is that disappointing, but this could put them at a field goal range. A 10-yard penalty on holding. So it maybe was a little too good to be true from Freitas on the touch screen pass. And now 3rd and 11, and it's a have to pass down for Powers, who was 4 for 6, but he mostly on screen passes. Does not look great passing downfield. They are going to take a toss. Oh, it's a fake by Freitas. He's got a man.
Oh.
Could not make the catch. Well, they weren't short on creativity there, were they?
No, that was definitely a great play by Petaluma. Sadly, it was just not executed too well.
Freitas can pass the football, too. He did it against Acalanes in their NCS game last year. He put a perfect 40-yard pass to Jacob Havard, who dropped the football. He threw a 28-yard pass last week against Terra Linda. And there, Powers tosses behind him. Looked like he was going to run, and he had Hogget. The defenders were fooled, but he just did not put his best stuff on it, and Hogget couldn't rear it in. So they're going for it on 4th. Powers under pressure, but he's good in motion. He has Freitas, but Freitas does not have the first down. Shoved out at the 20, and Terra Linda's going to take over.
Yeah, definitely an exciting push there by Petaluma.
So that penalty, very costly. If they converted it, might have been able to attempt a field goal. Instead, we made a one-possession game after all that offense to start. The defenses have been picking it up.
They certainly have.
So 1st and 10 for Davis and the Terra Linda offense. Give up the middle to Zabarek. He's got a first down, and it has to be nice. And actually, that was not Zabarek. Don't have a number on that, but Johnson. It was Dylan, not his brother, Kobe Johnson, who had 79 yards. But it has to be nice for the Terra Linda rushers. They haven't had to be featured that much because Davis has looked so good passing the football.
Definitely, yeah.
All Terra Linda needs is a touchdown, and they've gotten close multiple times to tying this game up. Give out wide right. Good job by the Petaluma Trojan defenders. Not going anywhere. Multiple linebackers in there, including Ayers and Pomey. Jack Santos, the only other sophomore besides Hartman on the team, also in there on the tackle. Some talented young players, but it's definitely younger overall. Lost 11 seniors returning from last year. They lost 22 from last year, including Isaiah Blomgren, the leading wide receiver, starting quarterback Justin Wolbert, and 3/5 of both their offensive and defensive line, including Luke Haggard, all Redwood Empire. Davis is sacked. There's a flag, but I'm pretty sure it's for holding. Harmamio was in there. Ayers was in there. See who they give it to. They're going to give it to Harmamio, and it's against Terra Linda, so I would anticipate Terra Linda to decline, or Petaluma, my goodness, to decline this, and it will be 3rd and long. Coach Chris had a decision to make here. So he decides that he will back them up. Was indeed holding, but now makes a 2nd and a mile. That means Davis is going to have to show his passing arm again.
Definitely.
What is the secondary? They need to step up here, don't they?
They really do. Terra Linda does seem to be falling off a little bit, but you never know.
Probably some adjustments you think made in halftime by the secondary. Just felt like there were some holes there.
Definitely, yeah.
Maybe they've been covered up. Oh, a delayed handoff, and he's got a hole. That's Zabarek this time.
Almost up to line of scrimmage there.
You know, it'll be 3rd and still long, but it was a nice run by Zabarek out to the 27. And makes it at least 3rd and a little bit more manageable with 1:30 and counting left in the 3rd. Offensive shootout turned into defensive struggle. It's been a quick moving game with lots of rushing. It's been old-fashioned football. It's been fun to watch between two good teams that will head to NCS. Both teams lost a lot from last year, but a lot of talent both on these teams. Davis' pass was tipped, and he had a man, but it was behind his receiver. Great job by the Trojan defensive line. Someone got a big mid on that, and that helped break up the completion. Defense standing up again.
Yeah, definitely. Just as we hoped.
Freitas is back, and he's dangerous. Terra Linda has 9 men on the field, so they need a couple more, but now there's miscommunication, and one will go off. Unidentified punter out. Freitas has not returned a punt until now, but I feel like they need an offensive spark. It's going to bounce. He's going to take it anyways, and
he slides down the 40.
That was a terrific tackle, wasn't it?
It was.
Well, the Terra Linda defender a little slow getting up, but he did a great job just kind of grabbing the ankles of Freitas and never let him get started. He had some momentum coming off that bounce, so 1:03 left in the third. And the Trojan offense in purple will head back out. No turnovers. Both teams have cleaned that up. How many viewers we got? How many viewers? 7 viewers. And any comments we need to address, you know? Okay. Feel free to comment, leave us any questions or feedback or anything. As that was a power keep. Haven't seen a lot of that, but he picks up 5 there. Little fast-moving action to the left. Of course, like this video, and you also can subscribe to the channel, Peter. And you know what happens if you subscribe?
What happens, Griffin?
Whenever we go live, you get an email, so you will never miss a game.
Oh, I want to subscribe now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Under 30, likely the last play of this quarter. Give up the middle. And brought down is Pedersen, but he has the first. Great design there. The spinning, turning, complicated handoff. It takes so much practice and time over summer to perfect that, but it just picks up a good 5-6 yards that could fool the defense. The clock is going to run down.
And that will end it.
Well, they're running up a play. They have no idea the clock's going to go off, but it is. We're through 3 quarters here. At the end of 3, the Petaluma Trojans 14, the Terra Linda Trojans 7.
This is truly an exciting game here.
So welcome you back into the broadcast booth. Lovely Mr. Brazil's patio. He's treated us well here, hasn't he?
He certainly has.
Even got us chocolates, as I mentioned. 1 more quarter left here. Tight game. So important for both teams, especially because of the NCS division. They're both in that same division. NCS seeding is going to be big, and both teams want a home game. The division last year, very tough. Trojans were a 12 seed, even though they had an exceptional team. A lot of those top teams in the division, like Rancho Cotati, like Acalanes, like Marin Catholic, like O'Dowd, they're up in Division 2. The Trojans currently projected to have a home game, but they're going to have a tough schedule. They're going to have some losses in the VVAL. Feels like they need to win this game right now.
Yeah, it really is an important game for the Trojans. They've done exceptionally well with both their defense and offense this game.
Same for Terra Linda as well. Let's head back on the field, please. Jamie, thank you. We have lost the... All right, well, we've lost the up-top camera, so we hope to get that to you in a moment. In the meantime, as we resolve the issue, we'll film through the fence. Is it on this? So we apologize for the inconvenience. Let me know when it's back. And hopefully we'll get that signal for you in a minute. But 11:35, Trojans go up the middle. And it's a big 4th down here, Peter. They're going for it. Powers the give to Prieto. This is very close, but I believe he got there. Now they got nothing on that 3rd down carry, but they are trusting Colton Prieto, and he goes up the middle and gets just enough for the 1st down. Limping offensive lineman on the Trojans, but he seems to be all right. So Trojans move to 6, and they're just into Terra Linda territory. They have not scored since the 1st quarter. It looked like they were going to put up a good 40 points tonight, but it has not happened. Rita once again in the backfield. He's become the feature back in this one. Freitas out to the right. He's got a hole.
He's running.
Freitas is gone. Touchdown.
Like we said earlier, really, if Terra Linda ever lets a guard down with Freitas, he would just punish them so hard, and this is a great example of it.
That acceleration, you can't get him into that second tier of the defense, so you're not going to catch him. They put him out right. They paved the hole, and there was no stopping him. The student section is pumped up, and just like that, it's 20-7, and that is a huge score, isn't it?
Really is, yeah. It's going to be hard for Terra Linda to come back now, but it certainly is possible.
So we do have that's the field cam. And then we do picture-in-picture. Oh, no, that's mixed. Yeah, so just turn it off and I'll get it on the scoreboard right now. So the extra point is good. 21-7. There's chaos in the student section. I guess they're excited. And this place is hyped right now, isn't it, Peter?
It really is. The Trojan spirit here is very vivid.
11:06 left to go, and a game-changing play from Freitas. Look good? Cool. Something special, you said, Peter. What is it about him? There's speed, but it feels like why is he blossomed into such a star? And why does he did this against Montgomery? He has the ability to make a game-changing play.
Might just be athletic skill, but also team spirit here really does help motivate him and everyone else here, so that's definitely a big factor.
Yeah, he definitely has a heart like a lion and a work ethic like a sailor. My bad. So Agia will come on to kick. I'm really being a hypocrite. I'm sorry, Peter.
Oh, no, it's fine.
And if the Trojan defense can make a couple more stops, Terra Linda is going to have a long 30-minute bus ride back to the luscious suburb of San Rafael.
Interesting kick from
Agia.
Yes.
There's Rum out wide. He breaks another tackle. Look out. Cutting back and all the way down to the 40. What a run.
Really, yeah.
Don't have a number for him, but whatever the Terra Linda Trojan, he found some speed, and there was excellent blocking and all sorts of issues on the left side. And just like that, Terra Linda can strike quickly, and they're right back in this one. .55 remaining in the fourth. Time is not Terra Linda's friend, but Davis showed in that first half he could throw the ball, and they're going to need some of that. Find some more holes in that secondary. Hartman is the safety. Freitas is the cornerback on one side, and it's Cristobal on the other, but it's a give up the middle. Zabarek breaking tackles. How is he still going?
Big run by Zabarek here.
Very shifty. Pickup of 7. He's going to likely reach another 100-yard game once again for the talented senior captain of Terra Linda. 2nd and 2 on an 8-yard carry. Mentioned it earlier, but don't forget to tune in next Friday night. We'll be on just before 7 for all of the homecoming festivities. Homecoming, it's going to be pretty lit, isn't it, Peter?
That is certainly one way of putting it, Griffin. It will definitely be an experience.
Should be a lot of fun with all the activities over the next week. He's
Big
going long.
Here.
He's got a man. Incomplete. Nice job by Cristobal, both staying in the area and with the teamwork picking him up. Just off the fingertips of the Terra Linda wide receiver. Cristobal was in the area at least, but there was just a touch too much on it from Davis. He had him.
Yeah.
So a second down, but not a horrible decision, you have to feel like, or third down, excuse me. Not a horrible decision by Terra Linda to take a shot there, and they had a man. They give to Zabarek. What a tackle! He is not going to get there. 4th down and inches. Armamio might have been in there. It was hard to see in that whole mass of players in there. Waggers might add a piece of that. This could be the ball game here. 4th and inches. Student section getting loud. And Terra Linda really needs a conversion here, or they're going to be in deep waters. Zabarek is the man in the backfield. QB Snake getting out it easily. Pressure on that, but the O-line of Terra Linda does their job, moves the sticks. 1st down. Under 10 to go. Terra Linda probably wants to score in the next minute or half, you have to feel like.
Yeah, definitely, or else they might be in big trouble here.
And then you trust your defense and then get the ball back with 5 to 4 minutes left, you prefer, for another drive and to tie up this game. It's a lot of ifs, though. Davis.
Big throw from Powell.
Overthrow. Looking for that same wide receiver that he had before in the end zone, and he just missed. John Candow on the coverage there. He played very well against Montgomery 2 weeks ago, and him and Cristobal have been a little bit quieter, but they have really helped the secondary, and the secondary's looked a lot better in the second half. 2nd and 10. Terra Linda scheduled tough. They are going to face Petaluma's longtime rival that they don't play this year, back down in Terra Linda against Annalee, and then they kick off MCAL play against San Marin. Ball is on the ground, but they're going to rule it a throw. Davis hit as he was throwing, but his arm was going forward according to refs, and no one's going to be able to replay it.
3rd and 10 for the Trojans here.
And there's no way you can kick a field goal down 14 points. This is 4-down territory all the way for Terra Linda. Will Davis, senior 6'2", 215, has had some bright moments, but only 7 points have been put on the board. Student section is loud. Man to his left. Trojans bring pressure. There is a flag. This is coming back, and he's not going to get there. Anyways, hard tackle. Hartman in there on the tackle. Kenny Alexander doing a good job as well. This Trojan defensive line is not providing too much room right up the middle.
No, definitely. They definitely improved since the first half.
I apparently have a question. What is it, Kaylee? Ask how I was doing. I am doing wonderful, and I will be doing even better if Petaluma can pull off a victory tonight and go to 2-1 on the year.
Yeah.
3rd and 20. I don't understand, to be honest, why. Well, I mean, I guess it's 4th and 5, but interesting decision by Coach Chris there. What do you think about that? To take the penalty and go 3rd and 20 instead of a 4th and 5?
I mean, I wouldn't know, but certainly an interesting choice, and we'll have to see if it pays off.
Probably requires a pass here, though, so I can understand, but the secondary has been up and down for Petaluma. Again, good pressure. Davis running for his life. He can't get sacked. He gets away somehow. He's still on his feet, and now he's gotten away from the defensive line.
And the Carly on him, and almost back up to the line of scrimmage there.
Oh, that was a Houdini-like escape. Garrett Freitas finally came up out of the secondary to make the tackle. The defensive line was chasing him around, and he was running around like a madman, but they couldn't get to him. So it's a 4th down and long, and they need to convert. And not a surprise that head coach Richard Cortuvo is going to call timeout here. This is the play of the game.
8 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock.
What a wonderful night it has been. Trojans, Petaluma struck first with the touchdown. Terra Linda responded. It looked like certainly it was going to be a big shootout tonight. Freitas and Zabarek were going to just go mano-a-mano running, but the defenses showed up. There were some turnovers, and it started to slow down in terms of the offensive output. Terra Linda had a key stall, both a turnover in their zone and a spectacular interception by Hartman, then a fumble, and then on their third and final drive of the half, they stalled at the 3-yard line and of Petaluma and did not score. So they had 3 opportunities in the first half. Great job by the defense by Petaluma to bend and not break. And now they're faced with a 4th and 14. They've had a lot of times into Petaluma territory, but just have not been able to cross over a certain level. And Coach Cortuvo cannot be happy about the Terra Linda offense production in the Petaluma side of the field. Diamond form. Davis will just throw this one up. Jump ball. It's tipped and broke it up. Great play by Daxton Aggia. Though his tip up almost enabled the Terra Linda receiver to catch it. It kind of fell back to him. But an athletic play by the 5'11", 150-pound senior cornerback. And the student section, by the noise they're making, knows just how important that stop was. And if you're Petaluma, you ride Colton Prieto right now, don't you? You ride that running back, and you just want to win that clock.
Yeah, definitely.
Terra Linda is going to have to come up with a stop very quickly, but I would be shocked if I see the ball exit a hand in a throwing motion by Cole Powers. Give up the middle, 4 yards, and expect the defense is probably going to be tired as well. That's the help.
Oh yeah, definitely. Everyone's up by the end of this game. It's just been on and off for everyone.
Physical between the tackles for a lot of carries and often not a lot of room to move, but that wears down both sides, but especially the defense. 2nd and 5. Freitas in motion. Oh, what a great last second toss to Freitas. Fake to Prieto, and he dives for it for the first down. That play design is lovely.
Certainly is.
Really fools the defense. And you would think that with only 24 seniors on this team and half of them not on it, that they've been able to manufacture just such brilliant plays, but they really practice well and they really can execute very well.
Definitely, yeah. Roy Chris has done a great job with his team this year.
Always see so much improvement from them, but you have to say the play calls and a lot of it have to give credit to the whole coaching staff for what they've done, and we're going to have whistles. And it actually did not get the first, so if this is a false start, that would be very costly. It is not, though. It's encroachment. And the Trojans will get an automatic first down. That's Petaluma, that is. And they'll move to 6. Only 6 returning offensive starters on this team. It's hard to, with that newness, build chemistry, get everyone on the same page, but after that first half against Montgomery, there haven't been very many growing pains at all in important early games. Diamond form. Powers is going to take it himself. Diving forward, and a couple more yards. Trojans will take 3 to 4 yards and continue to wind the clock. Terra Linda has 2 timeouts remaining in the bag. If they want to start using them, Petaluma has all 3. Don't forget, after the game, we are going to have interviews, and they will be live. Live interviews after the game. Do not miss that. First time ever at a football game we've done live interviews. Hopefully I'm not jinxing it, but we believe we are going to be able to get that to you right on the field. give up the middle to Prieto again, who has fully become the workhorse. He gets a couple yards. Powers took a shot on Terra Linda defenders. They thought he had the ball, but this does bring up a third down. And almost a must-stop here for Terra Linda. Mentioning the JV team, Nick Emanuel and head coach Greg Gehring doing a great job there, and they got a very resounding victory, didn't they?
Yeah, I think it was like 42-4, so great game played by them.
Yeah, pretty lopsided. They go to 2-1 after beating Santa Rosa last year. A surge. They blow the whistle dead with no progress made. This is close to the marker. I don't think he got there. Prieto has to be exhausted what he's done tonight. They are going to move the chains, though. Just got enough. That great power from the senior. He has quietly had a huge second half. And it's not going to be flashy. But you know Coach Chris is going to talk him as one of the most vital players out there and what is right now looking like a victory for the Trojans. 5.6 yards per carry. And you just pound it down your throats. And when you have multiple options, fresh backs can help. Ball's on the ground. Who's got it? Terra Linda says they do. They do. And there is a lifeline, a glimmer of hope for Terra Linda. Their offense has done nothing in the second half. But a disappointing turnover as the Trojans were just winding the clock down. As Prieto, I believe, lost it. Powers looked like he had a shot, but it got away from him. Second turnover by Petaluma. And a Petaluma defense that has played much better in the second half. Needs about one or two more stops to guarantee a W. Off the middle, and only a couple yards for Zabrik. After El Molino, Trojans will be back on the road. It will be a very interesting game at American Canyon, gorgeous campus and stadium, so I'm looking forward to heading out there. So it'll be Trojans and Wolves. American Canyon's lost their first couple games, but it is a good team, a very talented team, very athletic, lots of size. It's not going to be easy for Petaluma to compete against them. But it feels like there's not a game in VBAL that's not winnable. What a play in the backfield. Net Sambita dragging down Davis for a loss. He read that play perfectly to me.
He really did.
So 3rd and 10, 1 yard lost. This Petaluma defense has become the purple people eaters that we saw a couple years ago in this second half, and they have made up for a rather dismal performance last week in a defense that really struggled against Santa Rosa. Students making noise on 3rd down. It's been a hostile environment for Terra Linda. Can't help either. Under pressure again is Davis, and he's sacked by
DeCarlo, was that?
Yeah, that was Daniel DeCarlo, or Kenny Alexander in there to make the sack. Number 51, his first sack of his varsity career at 2 tackles against Montgomery. He had never played football before this, but he has excelled on that D-line. He's 6'4", 240. It's
a pretty big man.
Yeah, it's hard for anyone to contain. Starting center this year for the varsity basketball team. Originally was a Cardinal Newman for basketball. He's a pretty good ball player as well. And his athleticism has translated surprisingly well. Coach Chris, I know, has been very pleased. This is the ball game. 4th and 14. There's some miscommunication in the Trojans secondary, but now they're set. And we have a false start. So it's going to be even longer for Terra Linda. 4th and 19, and they're just going to have to take a shot.
Yeah, just as the clock slowly winds down. About 3 minutes left on the clock.
So 4th and 18. The clock continues to run under 4. Trojans did, on the way to Terra Linda touchdown, they gave up a 3rd and 19 conversion. They did that against Montgomery 2 weeks ago as well. So that's been a little bit of an Achilles heel, and
another false start.
Terra Linda is just heading in the wrong direction.
You can definitely see the fatigue they've had against the Petaluma defense.
Make sure clearly, so as soon as the game's done, what? As soon as the game is done, Henry needs to bring the camera down because we're going to use that one for interviews. But we need a portable power generator. Okay. And now Terra Linda calls timeout, and they're looking out of sorts here. They've maybe lost their composure a little bit in the second half.
Definitely.
But you have to credit Petaluma for how they've played tonight. It's been another not very pretty game for them, and they don't do it the most sexiest way. But if you can get a victory, that's all that counts.
That's right. Yes.
Done it with the grind-in-your-face offense. Freitas broke one for a touchdown. They had 2 long, methodical drives to start the game. And the defense is forced just enough turnovers and hung in there. They've bend and not broken. And that has been the difference on this Friday night. They've kept their composure as well. Not flags. Do have 2 turnovers that are a little bit regrettable, but the defense has made up for them with 2 turnovers of their own. Students pounding on the wall. It says "We Bleed Purple." Lots of signs out there and flags and banners jumping up and down. Here's the ball game. 4th and 23.
Lots of Trojan spirit coming through here as the student section just goes wild.
That's the 12th man right there. Davis scrambling and sacked. There's the ball game. Petaluma is going to go to 2-1 on the year. A 3rd sack. Mariano Harmamio, what a game he's had. What a game by this defensive line. They have given a headache to Davis and the Terra Linda offense. They played so poorly, to be honest, last week against Santa Rosa. They have stepped up big time tonight.
Definitely. You can definitely see the teamwork really coming through here to help push them through this.
Absolutely. Only 2 sacks coming in. They've 4 tonight. And they can basically run out the clock, leading by 14. Terra Linda getting a late man out there. They only had 10 men out there briefly. And a give again to Prieto. He had a hole briefly there. Terra Linda closed it. But you always wonder who's going to be the breakout player for a team, because there's always one the new year. We thought maybe it'd be the secondary. Can't out Cristobal, but to be honest, the defense, it's hard to have a breakout player there. That's how it works, and there hadn't been one offensively, and we'll have to see how they play Prieto against El Molino, but he looks like he has the shimmer and the spark to possibly be that X factor.
Definitely, he's been performing really well this game, so...
We've seen none of Derek Pomey in the second half. It's been the Prieto show. Diamond form. Late toss out wide to Ratto. It was well designed. It was well executed, but Terra Linda just a little better there. And they bring Ratto down for a loss of a couple yards. Ratto, the junior class president. And one of the excitements of the rally today, I don't know if you were at the first rally or the second rally, Peter.
I was at the first rally.
All right. Well, you saw, I think there was a homecoming proposal there, too, right?
There was, yes. I don't remember who, but that was definitely very sweet.
Ashton Sedell had one, and then Dante Ratto at the second rally got to see that one. He had a homecoming proposal as well in front of everyone. That's going to take some guts to do.
It certainly does.
They give to Prieto. The O-line pushing defenders back. That was a first down that they converted before, so a 2nd and 9. I'm sorry, that was Ratto this time, so you can start to give some other people some action. I see Michael Pichardo enter the game. It's hard to get all those numbers in there, but they got getting some backup, some experience here. The Trojans haven't played in very many blowouts. The Montgomery game was close most of it. Santa Rosa only became a blowout in the end of the 4th, and this one's been tight. So it hasn't been a lot of time for backups if they are needed later in the year with injuries or other reasons to be featured. Powers is watching the clock and running it down as much as possible. Up the middle.
The clock slowly winds down here, reaching to just 1 minute left.
Dominic Butts, who returned to football this year, he's been good from the kick return spot, former cross-country runner. I do have to say about those homecoming proposals, it's arguably unfair to the person that's proposed, don't you think? Because you can't really say no in front of everyone, can you?
No, you really can't, so you just gotta...
It's like those wedding proposals that you see after the big game, you know?
Yeah, right, like, you just can't say no.
You can't say no on TV. They give, I think, to Pichardo.
Maybe that's their strategy.
That they can't say, I mean, it was Pichardo. I think his first carry. Good to see Michael Pichardo, another former cross-country runner. Clock's running down. Yeah, I mean, I hope that they're going to say yes either way. But
right.
Saying yes, the Trojans are going to be saying yes into the night tonight because they have gotten the victory.
Won this game.
They are not going to need to take another snap. The final score here tonight, Petaluma Trojans outlast the Trojans down south. A 4-year winning streak, 21-7. They coronate Ellison Field in the right way with a W.
Truly an exciting game, Griffin.
A lot of fun. Truly appreciate it, Peter. Stay tuned for interviews. It definitely will be a hyped up Trojan team. Very similar to the Montgomery game. Not a comeback, but the same score as the victory against Montgomery. And the Trojans pull out what was not a pretty victory, but a victory nonetheless. They go to 2-1 on the year. Terra Linda falls to 1-1. We're going to have interviews coming up, so Henry knows he's bringing that stuff down. Yes? Okay, we are gonna be having interviews in probably 5-ish minutes, so stick around. We're gonna be getting stuff ready for you. If you want, it's gonna take a while. You can help them if you want, or cool. No time for losers. We are the champions ringing out. Trojans aren't champions, but they have dominated Terra Linda these last 4 years. Not really dominated, but they've been finding ways to beat them every time, and they showed great poise again tonight. You have to give them credit for the way they played and the way Coach Chris coached them in this game. They were ready. A disappointing loss last week. Things didn't go their way. You got to make your own luck a lot of times, and you saw that tonight. The whole camera down. Yes, wrap it up. Wrap it up and leave it there. I'll eat it later. So, are you all heading down, or I need at least one person to help me, probably. And my mic, I don't think will give out. Oh, we're going to need the HDMI on that camera on. Okay, we can turn my mic off. Okay, I'm going to go off. Hopefully we have an interview in about 5 minutes, so stay tuned.